Everyone, this is Common Denominator. Welcome to my channel. I'm going to be talking about Ariana Miyamoto, Miss Universe Japan. And I'm going to be talking about the fact that she was targeted by some Japanese people. Now, as you can see on your screen, she's a very beautiful woman. She is mixed. She is of mixed heritage. Her father being an African American and her mother Japanese. Now, she is a Japanese citizen, but some people in Japan have this idea that she's not Japanese enough. And I'm not sure what they mean by that. I think what they mean is she doesn't look Japanese enough. There's a video I'm going to share with you. It's by another YouTuber and reporter in Japan, and it's got some good info in it. But there are a lot of mixed people in Japan. Anyway, before we get to that, what I want to do is I want to show you a little video.
The Japanese mobile phone ad features an average Tokyo family with some quirks. Dad is a dog. Eldest brother? Not Japanese. Meet Dante Carver, an African-American actor and New York native who, according to Japan's top marketing research company, is Japan's #1 TV commercial actor. A stunning achievement for a non-Japanese.
Photovision です。あ、はい。
Does that happen to you a lot?
Yeah.
As we walk through downtown Tokyo, you understand why. His image is everywhere. Billboards, television.
Alright, there we go. So what we just saw, we saw a black guy who basically lives in Japan, and he's at the top of his game. He's in media. The country recognizes him. The country accepts him. And according to the marketing world in Japan, he's the #1 person to be marketed for ads. That's crazy. Now, I'm not sure if Japan hit its quota of African American or foreign blood representing them, but here we have something that's actually a lot different. You have Miss Universe Japan, and what this means is you have a woman who is representing Japan, and she's mixed, or what they call hafu, half Japanese. And I honestly can see why it's a big deal. I'm not saying they shouldn't be a little bit worried, because she is representing 129 million people who are supposed to be Japanese. And if you notice in the picture earlier, I'll put it up on the screen here, you'll notice that she's being hugged and she's being celebrated by the runners-up in the competition. And you know, it doesn't mean that people don't like her. I think what's going on here is just you got a few internet trolls who are expressing their hate, because a lot of people seem to like her. I mean, if Japan felt so strongly about not having mixed people in the competition, they wouldn't have had her in the competition to begin with. They wouldn't have invited her. They wouldn't have let her even compete. Now, I'm not sure how much you know about Japan, but Japan is not one to do things for political correctness. And I'll give you an example here in just a second. In Japan, there are some Koreans who are there from the from the war. They're actually, from what I understand, North Koreans. And they've been living there for the last 50, 60 years, yet they're not considered Japanese citizens. Now, I'm not judging Japan. That's really none of my business, but I'm just pointing that out. So, it's no secret that Japan has discrimination against foreigners, Koreans, Russians because of the war, Chinese, even Americans sometimes, and you know, it's just foreigners. It's just foreigners in general. Xenophobia. Japan's going through growing pains. I mean, if you really think about it, Miss Japan, you know, it's just think about America. How many people were willing to accept a black Miss America, or a Korean Miss America, or a Japanese Miss America? Imagine what would happen if America had a Japanese Miss America. Actually, let's look and see what happened. Look at the Miss America now. We have an Indian Miss America. Look at how they treated her. So I just wanted to add a little perspective. I personally understand where the Japanese, where some of them are coming from, because America is more of a mixed country. You know, you got more. It's a country that welcomes more foreigners. Japan, not so much. America welcomes more immigrants than all the countries combined on Earth. I heard that in an interview with Dick Cheney. So some countries just aren't used to immigrants, and their people are the same, and it's hard for them to change. Should they change? Should change be forced on them? That's something, you know, that's up for discussion. But back to Miss Universe Japan. I think she represents the change that is needed in Japan. Japan, I believe this year has 20,000 mixed babies that were born. I'm sure all of them weren't black, but I'm sure a good portion of them were. I'm sure a good portion of them were also mixed with white and Spanish and other things. But those people are still uniquely Japanese. So what does one have to be? What does one have to do to be Japanese? What does one have to do to represent the country? Does one have to look a certain way? I guess it's hard for people to accept the fact that someone might look different than them and they represent their country. Bullying in Japanese schools is the worst in the world, according to some articles. It's the worst in the world. Mixed kids suffer a lot of bullying. But I believe subsequent generations will handle this problem. Anyway, I think Japan should be proud of their new look. She'll be there for a year, then she'll be gone. She'll be represented by someone else. But I think this is a good time for them to embrace a little bit of change and just understand what's going on, and understand that Japanese people are choosing to marry foreigners at some times, and that's what they want to do. That's what Japanese people want to do. That's their prerogative. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. Comment below. Subscribe. This is Common Denominator. I'll see you in the next video.